Forwarded from Capt. Kyle Patriots. April 2nd. He's telling us is a very important day.
A liberating day for our country. We're going to be getting back some of the wealth that very, very foolish presidents gave away. Because they had no clue what they were doing. And April 2nd, I would have made it April 1st, but you know what April 1st is? April Fool's Day. I figured, I don't like doing it, but I made it April 2nd. It's a liberation day for our country. Because we're going to be getting back a lot of the wealth that we so foolishly gave up to other countries, including President Trump. Yes.
Trump just moved the Declaration of Independence into the Oval Office. 1776 has commenced. Again.
There is so much that has happened in the first 3 days of this week. Could it all be a whole lot of look here, not there, where we can get appointments and get into a bank?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any of that to be factual, but it all makes sense, right? I mean, factual. Yes, everything you just said makes sense. There's lots and lots of talk about things really moving, kind of beginning last night and then this next 24 hours, kind of last night through today into tomorrow, on the bond side and things like that. Iraq, God bless them. I don't get it, but they're there. They have done everything. And I've been saying this for a long time, and I'm not pounding my chest like I've been right, but they've been done. They are moving oil. How they're moving oil and paying salaries, and there's not a public rate. I don't even understand how that's possible, because you can't do either of those two things without a stated rate. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing things that they shouldn't be being able to do, which tells me that there is a rate somewhere.
Exactly.
That is known, right? Like, how are they keeping this a secret in the world, the technical world of today? I don't understand why they haven't flipped a switch. I don't know what the hiccup is. I mean, I know for a long time it was the United States. I believe it's still the United States. But, all this stuff with the ceasefire, they're working on a ceasefire in the Middle East, and both sides bomb the shit out of each other. Like, that's not how ceasefires work, guys.
But is that a cover? I mean, seriously, is that?
Yes. I would venture to say that half of whatever we're being told or what we're being shown or what we're reading, I would say that half of it is 100% made up. It's not really happening. They're not really dropping. Did we really sink an Iranian ship in the middle of the Red Sea? Like, to me, that sounds completely asinine. That the United States attacked an Iranian ship and sunk it to the bottom of the ocean.
And Iran hadn't done anything to a ship.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Exactly.
And there's no repercussions. Like, you can't save all of them, right? So hundreds of seamen, sailors died. If that story is true, then hundreds of Iranian soldiers and military men and women perished as that ship sank off the coast, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And then, but yeah, we took out the leader of ISIS, who was driving in like a Toyota Corolla, and just, dude's gone. But we had to sink a whole ship. You know what I mean? Like, so I think half of what we're being reported to us and what we're hearing and what we're reporting back, I think half of it is garbage. It's either completely fake or it's propaganda to push a narrative. And I don't, I'm not privy to what the narrative is, but
I understand.
I do think we are close. I think why did they release the JFK files yesterday afternoon? 80,000 pages, unredacted. You know that there are people that are still awake right now, like 79,200. Oh, wait, I see a name. You know what I mean? Like, they're probably not through 80,000 pages yet. But what are we being distracted from happening on the other side of the world with the JFK files being released exactly yesterday, when all this other stuff seems to be popping off other places. So I just stay positive, stay, and golly, the pot calling the kettle black. Like every day I have to walk myself off of that mental cliff and be like, all right, today's day. This morning, my wife, hey, that money that you were talking about, like, what? And this is how naive I am. I'm like, well, I put $1,000 in our bills account the other day. Like, did you not see that? She's like, no, it's not the money I'm talking about. I'm like, oh. She's like, the money you said was going to happen in January, and the money you said was going to happen in February. The money you said you were going to happen like I get it. All I know is that I mentioned a date. Oh man, I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm saying. I mentioned a date in May that I couldn't be out of town for. It's early May. And I was told that everything should be fine and dandy by then, right? I'm not saying that we're pushing into next month. I'm just saying that I believe everything is compressing into this time. The end of this month, I mean, we got one more week or 10 days, right? Next Monday is the 31st, last day of this month. We got, no, we don't have 10 more days. We have 5 more days, right, of this month.
You got more than 5 of this month.
Is it 10?
The 19th. So you got the 31st. So you've got 10, 11, 12.
Oh, yeah. So we have 10 days, right? Because we had 14 days on Monday of this week. So not counting today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. So we have 12 days. What has happened in the last 3 days? If we keep that pace, who knows where we are in another 24 to 48 hours, 72 at the most. But
well, the one thing that I'm going to tell everybody they need to pay attention to, and it's not really me or Dallas or anyone giving you dates, and I'm not sure what all it's going to mean, but Trump, every time anyone puts him on the spot lately, he talks about April the 2nd being monumental.
And he started referring to it as being like prosperous or changing prosperity or wealth for everyone on the 2nd.
Yeah,
I have noticed that in the last week or so.
Yes, and he keeps saying April 2nd. So will we have already been and got everything settled to where that becomes the public's knowledge of go back currency and all of this stuff taking place?
Hi guys, it's Wolverine here, guys. Good news coming out of you from the Pentecostal group. They're in the last now in the last road to this. They're going to be releasing those logistics and she's about to say that she's about to actually to finish this off actually after 27 years in this. So it is a process. So hopefully those people will get paid. Okay, so it's good news coming from them, right? And that's all I can tell you at the moment, guys. Okay, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye-bye. Hi, guys. It's Wolvie here, guys. I hope you guys are doing okay. And just letting you know, guys, that it looks like Brazil is about to get ready. It's coming right actually from various very high source. Right, and yeah, it's all good news coming through. I'm also hearing good news in Zurich as well and Hong Kong. Now, there were some funds actually that have been released, I've been told, right, and yeah, we're just waiting actually for the official start, right, but just get ready. That's all I can tell you now. Right now, it can be any day right now that we'll be able to get that official starting gun, you might call it, and so we can release that offer. Okay, God bless you. All right, and that's all from Wilby. Take care. Bye-bye.
Budget mobilization law close the Iraqi parliament. They're telling us within days. I read another article. I was having a tough time getting it to translate to share with you guys, saying that they are expecting it in parliament this weekend. Could be a huge piece for us, because in that budget, I am told we are to expect rates. I hope that turns out to be accurate. quick wrap up. We do have much heavier traffic in some of the key redemption areas from Reno, Zurich. I'm trying to get an update out of Hong Kong and Shanghai because I've been told both of those are important areas for us. But I have had many reports from people that are involved from Reno, Columbia, and Zurich specifically of very increased traffic. So praying that means we are about there. Zim definitely going to be included in exchanges. I can tell you I'm 99.9% certain, but I can't tell you with absolute certainty until after it's done, and then we'll look back at it. Do all of my sources still very much believe that it is? Yes. Did I miss the bond up, buddy? There really isn't much of a bond update. I'm getting phenomenal things. Hey, we're finding out when our final contracts are. I've had another person that was told they were about to get about $30K in travel money. We had so many folks from bonds or different groups are suddenly being issued their instructions to go get dollars, do their final closings, getting that information so they can be sent the travel money. I'm finding it all. I mean, they're clearly positioning for a mass release. I would not be surprised if there's quite a bit of money already flowing on that front based on the number of numbers and contacts that have now go straight to voicemail. Did you guys see that Trump they are looking to cancel any extra citizenship? In other words, if you're going to be a U.S. citizen, they are looking to end any dual citizenship. You're either an American citizen or not. Not an in-between, not, well, I'm an American citizen and German citizen, American citizen, Canadian citizen, American citizen, and a French or any of those. They're looking at saying no dual citizenship, which screams NESARA GESARA to me.
Yeah, Mark, look, I'm trying to figure out what I can share. Look, everybody, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and I will be really surprised if I don't wake up tomorrow to a new rate on the Iraqi dinar in public. I will be very surprised based on everything I know or everything I've been told. Not everything I know because I don't know it. I've just been told it. And I will be uber surprised if it goes past Sunday. And if it goes past March 31st, we're starting from scratch. So I think there's a lot of motivation to get it done. That's what I hear. And that's simplifying it. There's so many people coming at me today with so many things that are happening. I will say this, and I have something I want to tell you after the show. It's a bank story, but I'm hearing some really interesting things about what's going on inside the nation of Iraq right now. So that may conflict with what you're hearing, but
No, probably the only thing in there that I would call BS on would just be that if it doesn't go by the 31st. That it's starting from scratch. But other than that, it's pretty much what I'm hearing. So
yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild and exciting. I hope I just keep my eyes on Reno is what I'm doing right now. And I mean, this is the most excited I've been in years that this might actually go down. So there we are. Here's the news update. Okay. All right. So where we are in the news, I'm frankly a little surprised. We did not wake up to a new Iraqi dinar rate this morning. I was sort of 90% expecting it. However, excuse me, there's always that 10% that can mess things up. But we have had developments overnight that are relatively important, and I'm going to try to phrase these in such a way so as not to expose any sources. I have it from multiple sources. Remember, guys, they always talk about Saturday and Wednesday are the best days to get a new rate on the Iraqi dinar because that's when they publish their laws in the Gazette. Well, what they have done is that they have published today changes to the, quote, triennial general budget law. Now, what does that involve? It involves putting the whole budget out. The only thing that they haven't put in there is what the new rate is. So what this means is with this publication, all they have to do now is make an announcement about what the rate is. Not only an announcement about what the rate is, but the fact that this law has been published in the Gazette and is therefore real. It's a real thing. It's their new 3-year budget, 2025, I think, being the first year, fiscal year. So why is that important? Because that's the last thing they have to do before they give us the rate. Now, when will they give us the rate? Again, my sources of information indicate that if money is flowing in Reno, if in fact that is happening, in other words, bondholders are getting paid, this means Iraq has entered their Forex entry codes. Otherwise, I don't think they would publish this budget if they hadn't done that. They then send this information to the Bureau of International Settlements, BIS. They publish on Thursday. It is certainty, a virtual certainty, that Iraq would publish their new rate at the same time the BIS publishes their international currency corrections, which are on Thursday. So I'm told that the best time for this probable announcement of the new rate is going to be at 3 a.m. Eastern time, midnight Pacific time, Wednesday into Thursday. It may still be Wednesday here and Thursday there when this comes out.
Oh yeah, where'd you hear that?
Huh?
Go ahead.
But it is expected at this point by everyone that I'm talking to that this was what will happen tonight. Let me see any other little details. If it doesn't happen tonight, the next window and the final window would be Sunday. Now, does that mean it can't happen between now and Sunday? No, it just would be optimal to do it again on Sunday when the Forex opens. So that's the news information I have. The key update being the publication of this law in the Gazette, which just in typical Iraqi style did not include what the actual rate was. But what this means is this. It means that they can immediately begin paying out everybody they're contracted to pay out under that budget law. They can start spending the money. Well, if they can do that, then that means most likely that they will be spending with a new rate. It is unlikely they would be spending that money under the old rate. So that's kind of where we're at. I have no confirmations yet of people being paid out in Reno. That is the thing that tells us, okay, global liquidity is set. It's ready. And that means they can start paying out. So, Jen, that's what I have in terms of news. I'm kind of expecting it tonight, which I think somebody else said at some point. So,
Did they?
Yeah, somebody else said that. So,
Oh, yeah?
What do you got on the Gentel side of things? Any updates?
Yes. Okay. So, interesting. On private conversation with somebody a few days ago, I was talking about there was one thing that needs to be done. So we're trying to lift the hands off that are threatening Iraq not to do this over the last couple of weeks, with eliminating the terrorists, working on Iran, getting the peace deals done in Ukraine. We're pulling all of the remaining Cabal minion hands and the terrorist hands off of this situation so that we can get this passed and we can get this RV done. Okay. A few days ago, I can't remember exactly when it was. He was so excited this morning when I talked to him. In our conversation, when we were trying to figure out how this is going to roll out, I said, there's something that still needs to be done with Turkey and the lira. And he said, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, well, that's highly possible. It doesn't make any sense. But so this morning on MarkZ, we saw that information came out about that. So that problem's checked off. We've got Venezuela being handled behind the scenes. We're getting some news leaking out about that. So we're going into all these Cabal ground zeros with all their minions and all their terrorists that are trying to stop this worldwide transition, and Trump is taking care of that. All this time, Putin Trump as the chief financial officer of the alliance and Putin as in charge of the military and the security of everything that's going on, holding people back so that we can get all this done all this time. So now we're coming up on a peace deal there with the Ukraine. I think that Putin's been holding everybody off over there and keeping them at bay so that we can move forward with this financial transition. We've gotten up to almost done with all the tiers. Now, when we've got Reno active and a lot going on over there, we've got codes entered in all these different places. We've got bondholders and everybody else getting paid in the other tiers. We had something that had to be done in Turkey to get out of our way so that we can move forward. That has been done. So I asked this morning, a long time ago, before we even started talking about the RV, and everybody says, when is everything going to happen? The angels told me Trump has a key. Interestingly enough, fast forward 3, 4, how many ever, blindingly slow years it's been. Recently, we see him in the Oval Office and someone hands him a gold key. Okay. It's not that key is the actual key. The key may be a code. The key may be whatever. It may be authorization in some way, but he was handed the key. And at that time, I felt that was a signal to everyone watching who needs to do anything. All right, we can proceed. Shortly after that, everything starts rolling with the other tiers that has been on hold for so long. So where we are now, I asked Gabriel this morning, he put the key in an ignition and turned it. He said, so we get the next 24 to 48 hours. We're either going to have a rate coming out of Iraq or notifications. Not sure which comes first, the chicken or the egg, but did also get possibly between 11 and 12. Everybody hear that? Between 11 and 12. Tonight, Reno time, we might get a rate, okay? So been putting all this together behind the scenes. Then we had the Gentel this week. Let's just go back over that again. So we had most paymasters have had funds to distribute. They will do so this week. We have many reports of that happening that we cannot share with you. At that time, approximately 90% complete with other tiers. And I asked what needs to happen to release 4B notifications. Release of funds complete. Things started moving. Yesterday, there were so many confirmations coming in on that. That's why everybody got so excited. I think we're nearing that possible completion or enough complete or whatever needs, to happen to release those funds complete today or has already been. When will they do that? This was Monday that I got this information. They said tomorrow. That was yesterday. And then we had all these confirmations of people getting paid and things moving yesterday. So that is a confirm. If one person is found, then notifications 319. I believe that person has been found. I think we're good. Okay. They're talking about terrorists, somebody who is bad, somebody who's in the way. Then we get word today about something happening in Turkey. Okay. Coming in the news was first, and we thought, well, this could possibly be a timeline. So we got release of funds, and then we got offshore drilling attack. Now, today, MarkZ was talking about, I got snippets, I didn't watch the whole thing. MarkZ was talking about oil and Iraq and the United States and everything like that. That's in the news right now. So let's hope that we do not have an offshore drilling attack of some kind to try to throw a wrench in the spokes and anything. We got less oversight. Don't know what that is. We got margin call, then relief plan, then Schumer takes a deal, 11-12, and then implosion. I think we are coming up to the climax of this financial transition. Now, as far as tiers 1 through 4 go, when we go to tier 5, that's going to be a longer process for our in-country RV when they go to gold. There may be, and what I've been putting together lately, is I've seen that Trump is really talking about ramping up like we're going to start the production of chips. What does that mean? Silver. He's going to start mining for coal. He's going to told people that he was going to start behind the scenes, that we were going to start mining, and that there may be, and I don't know if this is correct or not, or just total doesn't make any sense at all, but there may be an intern time. If the rates go up, it's going to boom, boom, boom. All the other rates are going to show up on the Forex. It's going to crash the dollar. And if they're not ready to go to gold and nobody's ever said anything about it, you can't just say, oh, here's the currency. We had it printed up all this time. Too many questions about why. Okay? There may be an intern time while they're preparing that and telling the public, okay, we're going to go print the gold. We're going to print the currency now. We've got such amount of gold. But in the meantime, they're going to calculate the US dollars, maybe possibly even to prop up the fiat dollar and the fiat dollar's worth by what we have in the ground, our resources. And that's why Trump is doing this. It's not so much, they've got coal and he's acquiring other countries. We're going to use what they have in the ground to determine our dollar, or either to prop up the fiat dollar before we go to gold. So something like that is coming. Trying to figure out what that is. Too much information coming in at once to me from when I look at it psychically to figure that out. I'm not knowledgeable enough to figure that out. But at this point in time, I think we're working on Reno time. I think Reno's been activated or active. Trump has some kind of key or authorization to get Iraq to go. Best possibility of that is tonight, between 11 and 12. And so I say 48 hours for notifications. That's what I put together this morning.
It totally kills me. I just love it that you got the exact same time I got from my guys, my news guys, and you got it in Gentel. I mean, tonight around midnight, Reno time is when it should all go down.
That depends on which guy you talk to.
Well, it depends. It's the next big window. It was a guy. At least one of them is a guy you've never talked to. So. Oh,
okay. Well, that's good.
So it's an independent verification. So we.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we're right there. We're as close as we can be. My level of excitement over this is really, really high. But I do want to caution you on one thing that I think we should talk about. First of all, it is possible, from what I hear, it is possible that a couple of currencies could go, that Iraq and Vietnam could just go. And when people say, well, now others are saying, well, we're not going to get, the GCR is not going to happen until July and August. Remember, Iraq and Vietnam have met every qualification required by international agencies to revalue their currencies. Every single one. They can go at any time. They are in cahoots and working together, but they can go at any time. That is not the same thing as the GCR. The revaluation and the GCR are two different things. So we could actually have Iraq and Vietnam, let's say, tonight, tomorrow, and then it could be a few weeks or a few months, or it could be, as I was told yesterday, in waves, a series of 10 other currencies at a time than when they were ready to go, because this is a gigantic undertaking. And there are so many moving parts that this is a possibility. So if we just get the dinar and the dong tomorrow, don't be disappointed. Maybe there's no redemption center appointments right away. Maybe there is. I don't know. Go to the freaking bank and celebrate and have a great time and wait for the rest of the GCR to come.
There will be 7 currencies that change on the Forex, one after another, when they post the Iraq dinar.
So then 7 more currencies are going to change.
No, 7 total.
7 total. At the same time?
Boom, 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 boom. There may be an hour between them, so they just start popping up.
So that could happen too, which is not the full GCR and us going to gold back currency yet. That, in other words, you could have a really good thing happen and just try to accept that it's really good. I mean, what if there are no redemption centers yet because the GCR hasn't officially kicked off? Well, do you want to hold your dinar? Let's say you got $1 million dinar. Do you want to hold your dinar and wait for the redemption centers in the GCR, which could be July or August or September, like some people have said, or it could be May? Do you want to wait for that? Not me. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. I cannot give you financial advice, and I would not give you financial advice. I'm going to go to the bank. If I can go to the bank and get 322 for my million dinar, my mythical million dinar, I'm going to go do it. And then I'm going to buy a nicer house, and I'm going to put the rest in to gold or something and have a really fun couple of months. So don't be disappointed if your wildest dreams don't come true the first day, because I think they will come true, and it means that we are on track for this. So that's not my only caution. Is I hear a lot of things, and I even talk, like, some people are like, oh, well, it all has to happen at once. Truth is, Jen, we don't know. We don't know how it's going to go down. It's above our pay grade. We just have to be here prepared for when it does happen. Okay, I do have a question from our friend Uncle Ron. He was wanting to know, because it's interesting, in some of the side discussions I've had, some of them include the Zim and some of them don't. So he wants to know, is the Zim is a very special case because it's a bearer bond. Is the Zim going to go at the beginning, or is it going to wait and go later?
There's nothing that we ever had to wait on the Zim. It's been ready for a very long time.
There you go.
That's what I just heard.
Wow.
It's always been included. It's just not a currency. What we're waiting for and working on for 4B is the currencies.
Okay, so it's the currencies they're working on. So I also heard that the Zim was ready last October, and it's been sitting there waiting.
Yeah, it's been waiting for a long time.
Yeah. That's good.
So, and it's not so the active currencies is what we're waiting on.
Yeah. Okay. Which have to be funded out of Reno. A lot of the gold has to be funded out of there. So, all right, that is going to do it for the Crosstalk segment. That's very exciting. And, don't blame us if it doesn't happen. But I think it's about ready to happen. So
this is a hard fought war.
Yeah.
I've been saying that the whole time. And when I look at it, there's just so many villains coming in for the last couple months. Oh, and another thing somebody brought up, which I really do hope it happens on the 19th, because that would be totally cool. But remember how I was harping on the 19th?
Yeah.
For a while, a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. And it was supposed to go back in January.
It was January 19th.
They got an extension on that.
I got that independently, that it was supposed to go right before the inauguration. So,
I know.
Completely independent of Jen, I got that information.
Forwarded from username Taken 2.0. MarkZ has said that his contacts have told him that would have notifications before it ever hit the Forex. That actually makes sense, because when it hits the Forex, it's going to crash everything, not just here, but around the world. That would definitely be an implosion, and maybe that's what Jen saw. Forwarded from Ginger's Liberty Lounge. Ginger. Nice reminders of where we're at from Ariel on X 3/19/25. Gintel compliant details. Ariel. It's game time. Ripple announced today that the lawsuit has been settled. LMAX Digital announced that its customers can now access the USD stablecoin RLUSD. Iraq announced it will launch a digital Iraqi dinar. Iraq also just announced it is ready to resume oil production. Donald Trump announced April 2nd as Liberation Day, which means the countries will be on a level playing field, and one way to achieve that is through currency revaluation. Do you see how this aligns? Heal inner child. Beneath the surface, deep inside, a child still waits, with tears to hide, the wounds you carry, old and deep, the scars you buried, but can't keep. Let go of shame, release the fear, the child inside still needs you here. A hand to hold, a voice to guide, to heal the hurt that you've denied. Speak gently now to what's been torn, the little soul that's felt forlorn. Give love where silence once had been, and let the healing light begin. For in your heart that child still speaks, through all the pain, through all the leaks. Heal the past, embrace the truth, restore the joy, Reclaim your youth. The journey's long, but you are strong. The inner child will sing its song. Embrace the light, let darkness flee. Heal your soul, and you'll be free.